Huh? You got that same photo? Or
I know.
Or painting?
Right there.
That's cool.
Realize that.
We won that at a banquet. It was a Rough Grouse
I
Society
think we got
banquet.
it at a banquet too.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops, sorry.
It was like almost 9. It was like 8,400 or something.
I think it's
From that. I was talking about
the hotel, I think.
home purchase. Like in the weirdest spot. I don't know how I got there.
All right, Haley, number
Hey.
14.
All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Phil Time with Haley Ann.
Kenny.
We have some special guests with us tonight. We can't wait to ask them a few questions later on.
Yeah, we're excited to, we've heard from one half of this duo. We get to hear from the anchor part of this duo, I think is the next here in just a minute. So we're real excited about that. Or maybe I should say we're going to hear from the driver of this duo anyway with it. But so we're pleased with that. Well, we are, Haley, going to continue our series this week with high point winners. And let me just kind of go quickly through those. Just on the pointing side, Trooper and was the open pointing high point dog with, that's with Randy. Doubles pointing was Karma and Trooper with Randy and Nate, our guests tonight. And then, of course, the amateur champion, our high point dog was Cap with Kevin Pixley. So pleased that we could have Randy and Nate with us tonight, and we'll get started and find out a little about their adventures. And you know, what was it? I'm gonna jump out there with it. What was it like? I mean, this is the first time y'all run for. Is it the first time you've been running at the high point for that top spot?
We ran back in 2016
Okay.
for the doubles team of the year,
Oh, okay.
and we wound up being the runner-up that season.
Oh, good. Okay, good, excellent. So what was it like? What was it like to run? Because I think I told you all a little bit earlier, it's an accomplishment. And Haley knows that from what Clint has done to run in Flushing, but you all not only did it in open pointing, but you did it in doubles pointing too. That's pretty, I mean, let me just say that's pretty good.
It is pretty good. I worked like heck last year and got third place doubles high point, and I was happy with that. So I can only imagine a first place win.
What was the experience like? When did you know? When did you got? I got tons of questions and I can't let you answer one if I ask another one. But when did it dawn on you? We're going for this. When did it say we're doing good? We're going for it.
Well, for Open, it probably happened at the Kentucky Open.
Mm-hmm.
When Trooper won the Kentucky Open,
Yep.
that pretty much opened up the door and said, all right, now we're kind of obligated for the dog to push on and see how far we can go.
Yep.
Doubles, I mean, we pretty much chase doubles almost every year or try to, just because the dogs do so well. And we're normally in the top 5 every year anyway. So this year they just were on point and they were doing their job, and it was almost sealed up in October. We got some teams kind of close to us in the December timeframe, but then they pulled away again and then it was over. So they just did really well, and they earned it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I looked at it. I was looking at the doubles when I was pulling back up just the champions, and I looked back at that, and I don't remember. Lexi and Blue, were 5th or something. But you all were, to show so everybody knows the difference. I think they were 5th, but you all were 200 points ahead of us, and that's a lot in doubles because you're not having 30 dog trials in doubles. I mean, most of the time, if you have 9 or 10, you have a big trial.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
it was definitely harder. I mean, typically when we go to a doubles trial, if we get 5-6 teams, that's a lot.
absolutely.
For sometimes our local area. I mean, when we were able to go to Kentucky and Illinois and get the 8-9 teams and then win or take second in a good amount of them, that really helped us tremendously.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's tough. I mean, it's tough because you can't. It just, you don't get a lot of points. You know, in that point system, if you have, you know, even if you have 10 dogs, you're still 60 points only if you win it. That's the,
right.
The challenge a lot of people don't realize about doubles.
Yeah, and then it's even more of a challenge when us being so far north, all our local trials, you know, 4 or 5 dog trials is common. So we're already behind the 8 ball. I mean, if you're not winning them up north, then you don't really have a shot.
Yeah.
Because you just can't keep pace with the amount of Southern trials. You know,
Right.
even if they're 4 and 5, they just have more of them also. but they normally have 8 or 10, which is even, so they have more of them and they double the amount of dogs. So it's quite a challenge for us.
Yeah, I was
Where is
talking.
your closest trial to y'all?
About 4.5 hours
Yeah.
to Pittsburgh.
Brandon Tarquinio's trial is about 4 hours and 40 minutes, and that's the
The
closest.
closest 4.5 hours.
Haley, I don't
And
know.
luckily he had good trials. So
The first time that I had a conversation besides, hey, how are you? How you doing with Randy was it was at the Kentucky Open. And I don't know, I asked how far the drive was because I knew he's New York. And he said, oh, well, it's whatever it was, 10 hours. Randy,
10 hours, yeah.
10 hours. He said
Yeah,
the closest,
10 hours.
4.5. And I'm like, oh gosh.
I mean, that's nearly from me to you. I mean, like I can be in Tennessee in 5.5 if I don't stop maybe but once, but good night. And that's a tote, you know?
All right.
That's just in 4 hours. It's, don't even feel like I'm in the car anymore for 4 hours.
Oh, my word. Well,
You're
those dogs are
going
great.
around the block with 4 hours, I bet.
That's a tip shot now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy, now let's remind everybody. Do you remember the most important 1 second of this year?
Yeah, Kentucky Open. Sure was.
If you think things aren't tight in UFTA, go back and just remind everybody, Randy won the Open pointing by 1 second.
Wow.
Unbelievable with it. I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable. It was in that second that he knew he was running for a high point, though.
Yep. 1 second spent a lot of money. That cost me a lot of money.
What does that translate out to per hour rate to that 1 second and what you wound up spending after that?
Can't imagine.
Well, see, now I tried to help you, Randy. I just want to know I tried to help you because at the trials when Nate came, and I know at times Brandon came with him and Brent came with him to run doubles with him and all that. And I kept telling him, I said, just get it on Randy's expense account. I told him where good steakhouses were, and I wanted to have good deals.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that one bit.
I already told him he owes Brent and Brandon some good steak dinners.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there you go. Well, they did a good job with him. I will tell you that. I mean, that's I think a credit to your dogs, but they really did.
That's a big shout out to those guys. Not only are they really good friends, but they're really good competitors. And I'm just glad that they can run with us, and I'm glad the dogs run for them too. So.
Yeah.
But our dogs are honestly notorious for that. I mean, they'll just, if you got an orange vest on, they will go hunting. So
Let's go.
Oh, that's great.
they might not bring a retrieve to you happily, but they'll hunt with you.
Yeah. Well, and we've said this a lot of times to people that are, hopefully people are listening and thinking about this organization. And I don't know, I can't speak to others because this is mine, but that's the kind of thing of where we help each other. And your friends go with you, and you need somebody to run doubles. They jump in and run doubles with you, or people try to help you in this organization to succeed. Sure, we all want to win, but we want to see people succeed. And I think that's a perfect, what you just described is a perfect example of one of, I think, some of the great things about UFTA.
Yeah, Brent actually had no real intention of going to that trial with us. He went because we knew we were in the race and we were down a man because I couldn't make it, and he just volunteered.
Hey, Brent,
so he drove.
He drove like 9.5 hours just to run doubles with me.
Wow.
That's a friend. You do owe him a steak, Brent.
Yeah.
I know you're out there listed on that. You have two witnesses. Haley and I right here are your witness that they need not just a steak, a big steak now with it. So I'll work on a good place for you at Nashville so you can
There you go. Fair enough.
Hey,
okay.
he's watching.
Go ahead, Haley.
I said he's watching, so he hears it.
Yeah.
That was probably the most stressful part of the whole race and the whole year was just when he couldn't come, trying to figure out how I was going to go to a trial and not only run my dogs in open, but be able to run them in doubles and run them with someone that I knew my dogs would run with, and someone that I'm used to being around and my dogs are consistent with. And because I've ran in the past with Brandon and Brent, and to have them come out and help us out when we needed them, it was massive.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, you talked a little bit about the drive that Brett made to come and to run doubles with you. But all right, tell us your trip. The most what's the right word am I looking for here?
The longest trip you guys have ever been on.
Yeah, eventful trip that you had to make.
The craziest one?
Nate, yeah, the craziest one. There you go. Thank you for getting it out of
the craziest one was actually the one that was the last event of my year, which happened to be the day after Christmas. I was originally supposed to leave Christmas night at 7:00 at night to be on the road to drive out to Wabash, Illinois. And I got snowed in and I couldn't make it because the interstate over by Erie in Pennsylvania was snowed in from the lake effect, snow off the lake. So Brent was also leaving the same time, and he was going to meet me out there, and he called and told me that the interstate shut down and I should probably rethink my travels. So looking at the map, figured it out. I was like, yeah, it's unsafe for us to go. So we waited till Saturday morning, had to miss the trial on Saturday. And then I made the 12.5-hour drive straight through so I could be there late Saturday night to run Sunday. So we went all the way out there, ran dogs on Sunday. I had some good fortune. Howler was able to do really well in the open, and me and Brent were able to win the doubles, which was I believe an 8 or a 9 team doubles.
Right.
So that was a good event there in Wabash. And then after I got done running dogs on Sunday, I hopped back in the truck and drove another 8 hours down to Livonia, Georgia, down to Tommy Wiley's. And I believe that was 780 miles or something like that from Illinois to Georgia. And then I ran dogs all day in Georgia on Monday with Paul Vaughn and Brandon Sarquinio and all the guys that were there.
Yep.
And then hopped in the truck and I made it almost the other 12 hours back to New York. I made it about 8 hours to the West Virginia border, and I couldn't take it anymore. I had to finally sleep at a Love's.
You deserved it. You deserved to sleep at that point. Oh, wow.
That total trip was like 21 or 2,200 miles. It was
in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't tell us this.
Wow.
How many did you look up? How many miles did you travel?
I finally added it up this morning actually, and it was 16,900 and change for miles that we put on
for the year.
Wow.
For the year.
No, for the year.
Yeah.
For the year.
Yeah, right.
Like,
For the
how?
whole year. For the whole year. And that doesn't include the nationals, because the nationals doesn't count for the high point race. So I just adding it up, and the nationals was another 12-hour drive for us.
Yeah. It would be
my
out to North Alabama. It would have been. Oh, wow. That's oh my goodness. That's a year's worth of mileage for most. Well, it's more than a year's worth of mileage of all driving for a lot of people.
Yeah. I need a new truck now already.
I was going to say, well, wait a minute. Is Randy going to finance the new truck since you wore the other one out?
Yeah. It's on him.
He's getting a little nervous over there, Nate. We've gone from steaks to new trucks now, Willie.
You know, not only is that just mileage, like most people don't even travel like that. Like if my prior, like I had been to Canada twice, else I'd never even been through New York. I've never seen it, never even been that far north, other than, going out of the country several times. But my goodness, like that's crazy. I mean, you guys are in Georgia. You guys are what, an hour and a half, 2 hours away from us, and we're the dirty South. So
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't even vacation more than 5 hours from their house on a family vacation. They might do that once a year.
See, for us, the beach is 90 miles south from us. So we go to the beach for the weekend. We're an hour and a half, 2 hours at most going to Destin. If we go to our friends in Orange Beach, which they come to our trials all the time, and we're thinking, golly, you guys are 3 hours away to Foley and Orange Beach.
Well, the other side of that too, it's not just you all getting in the truck and driving somewhere. Taking care of the dogs, airing the dogs, staying in a hotel or staying wherever with the dogs. I mean, that's all you got to take care of the dogs before you take care of you with it. I mean, it's just, that's a process.
And you guys have inclement weather. I couldn't imagine. Like, it doesn't get that cold. Like, it was freezing yesterday. Today, I could have had shorts on.
I mean, that definitely is a testament to what our dogs have been through for this year. I mean, riding in the truck as much as they did, sleeping in the truck in our topper, being on the road as much as they are, and handling and performing as good as they did all year. I mean, we have to give a lot of credit to Kinetic Dog Food. Their food has been fantastic since we've been feeding it, and our dogs, everywhere we go, everyone's just like, and your dogs look good, and their muscle density, and they run good. So it was definitely interesting and an achievement for them to do what they did for basically living in a truck from October to December.
Some people are like, "Oh, you guys do that to your dogs?" And we're like, "What are you talking about?" Our dogs love the kennel. They love the trailer. Like, our dogs let them out, and they come right back. They go do their business. They move around for a little bit, and they come back waiting at your feet, like waiting for you to open the door to the kennel or to the trailer. Like, they live to hunt. They live, like, I know our dogs. I know you guys too. This is what they do. They live to hunt. They live to please us. And so anything that they do, like, this is not torture on those dogs. It's not stress on those dogs to travel like that. Oh my gosh, you kidding me? They're so excited to do this.
Yeah.
Yep.
That people are like, you guys travel that far and do all that with these dogs? What about your dogs? I'm like, what about it? Like, they love it.
That's why we do it.
Exactly.
Oh, exactly. Well,
still perform after being through all that. And that tells you how great these dogs really are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a credit. Nate brought that up. It's a credit for a dog to be that consistent. They love to do it, but to go out and perform day after day after day, whenever they're traveling, it's hard on one going out the back door. I know Randy said you all have a place to practice. They're going out the back door. It's even if you walk out the back door and practice, it's hard to hold that consistency. You add the travel and just the other things that are thrown in there. That's a huge credit. It's a credit for two things to me. One is your dogs, and two is the work you do with them.
I mean, that was one of the things for us is just like, I went to so many places this year that I'd never been before. We've been running bird dogs and shoot to retrieve trials of some sort, whether it be the BDC, the NUCS, or the UFTA for over 11 years now. And I had never ran a trial in Kentucky until this year. And I wound up going there probably 4 or 5 times. So to go to a new place that you've never been to before, in different grasses, different environment, and for your dogs to be put on the ground and then perform like they should is just a total test. I mean, because I'm not going to lie, when I went down to Georgia, my dogs really struggled down there for some reason. Down at Tommy Wiley's, he has some really tough fields, and my dogs struggled down there more than they did in Illinois.
I tell you, I've had a lot of people. We've had some people come from up north, and when they first get here, like the first day, the dogs are like sneezing, and they're like, my dogs can't smell the birds, and we're like, what are you talking about? And the humidity is so much thicker down here. It seems different because I went to Canada once and I tried to go for a run. I literally could not do it in the middle of the summer because there's no humidity. It was so dry, I couldn't breathe good. And it's the same thing on the dogs. They're used to that. So when you come down here, it's not really tough on us because we can handle it. But to the dogs, they're like, what? And then the grass is super green because it doesn't really get that cold here. So, and there's tons of grass and
there's different grasses.
Different types of grass.
Absolutely. I mean, there's grass cover that our dogs saw for the first time in their life this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
never ran in that.
Yeah,
that far south.
And if I remember Tommy's correctly, I mean, you have sand in Georgia. I used to live there, and then you have Bermuda grass or Bahia grass. But that Bermuda can sometimes be so tangled, even as it gets taller, and it's a different scent. And people think, well, but that shouldn't make that much difference. But if
yes, it does.
It's a little different than what they're used to. They got to adjust to it, just like we adjust to. It's like Nate, and this is the other thing. If you've never seen a field and you walk in it to run the first time, it is hard to figure it out.
There's definitely a home field advantage in this game because dogs are used to those grasses. And let's face it, these dogs run in these fields so much, they're used to the field sizes. They know where the zones are for the most part if they practice there.
They know where to go half the time, they just.
So that's also a disadvantage. Well, just knowing that we're going into fields where the dogs that run there all the time.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
And even from a handler's aspect too, if you go to a field and it's not a square field with typical zones and it's got a dog leg or it's a goofy field, and you've never been in it before. Like when I went to Wabash with you, Kenny, that field, that is a weird shaped field and it's got weird boundaries. And I was just on the first run so I could watch a few of the plants just to see how it was going to run, because that was just a very unique field. So when you never been to a place, that could take a big toll on how the trial pans out.
Absolutely.
How many times have you done this? And I especially on a new place, I get out there and then I get lost.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Have I covered, have I been on this side, or have I covered this zone or not?
I've been looking around and a lot of people, since nationals start marking their front, middle, and back with at least a PVC pipe or a fly or something, more clubs have started doing that as well. And I really appreciate that, because once I get out there and I'm like, okay, especially like what he said, because we went to Howard's trial, our doubles field was literally, you went at an angle. It was like a C, and it was smaller than the other one, like shorter, but it was way wider. So you could get so lost so easy. You got to the front and you're like, okay, am I still in the front or am I in the middle? Because if you go right, you're still in the front. But if you go just a little bit straight, that's your middle bird. And I kept turning around like, okay, where am I at? And it gets really confusing. So absolutely, if you go out to a field brand new, first time with your dog, and you do really well, that says a lot.
Now Haley, I got to ask this. I just wonder this. When Nate gets lost in the field, do you think Randy has anything to say when he comes back out of the field and he realizes he's been lost? Do you ever hear that, Nate?
I will say he's not very sympathetic with me. I'll give you that.
I was about to say, if he's anything like Clint, absolutely not. It's at the field. What are you doing? That's not the way to hunt the field. The field goes this way, not that way. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Nate, I get lots of direction when I walk back over that field. If I missed a part of it somewhere, why didn't you go out there? Why'd you go left instead of going right? And I'm like, oh God. I'm just doing the best I can do.
It's a lot easier from the sideline than it is out there.
Yeah.
We have definitely critiqued each other more than we've probably non-critiqued each other over the years.
Yeah. All right. Yes. So how many dogs do you guys have?
9 pointers.
9
oh, wow.
Too many.
Well,
yeah, not all of them run trials, obviously. So we wild bird some of them, or we have wild bird dogs, and then we have trial dogs for the most part now. That's kind of the direction that we went.
How do you differentiate that? Do you not let your trial dogs really wild bird? Because I've just, from seeing some of that, wild bird dogs aren't quite as controlled as the field trial dogs.
Well, you decided, we do pretty young. I mean, and it depends on what I need too. I mean, if I'm got the age where I need to get puppies on the ground and get them going for field trials, because I want to keep field trialing because we enjoy it, then we focus a little bit harder on that. And then if I got 1 or 2 out of the litter that, or whatever happens, that we don't run for trials, we just keep them and we'll wild bird hunt them, or we sell them, so.
So is that more of like the more wild puppy?
Yeah.
And we do run our tournament dogs. We do wild bird hunt them. We do. I mean, we got into this because we were wild bird hunting, and the first trial we ever went to was just another place to run our dogs because we were running out of places to wild bird hunt locally in New York, and that's how we started.
So when you say wild bird, do you mean quail or chucker or grouse or what?
For us, it's
grouse, and they
pheasants.
use state release pheasants. We don't have quail.
We don't have quail. We don't have chucker, and we really don't have native pheasants either. But the state our state does a decent job with a program where they release them. So
really, see, I've never seen a grouse other than the pictures. I've never seen a grouse in real life.
Really?
Really?
Oh my goodness! I just spent the last 4 or 5 days grouse hunting. So
all right, now you
I can honestly say though that Trooper, Holler, and Karma did not go grouse hunting. They're not allowed to.
They weren't allowed
until after nationals. I can't. It's
so
much risk. I've had too many grouse dogs get boogered up because it's just hard. It's hard hunting. It's thick. It's nasty.
Yeah.
So
there's no way Clint would let our dogs do something like that right now. Absolutely not. He's like, are you crazy?
I can't afford to. No. They're going to be training and sleeping.
He definitely wanted to wild bird hunt them, and then in October when our pheasant season opened, I had to have a talk with them and be like, they're not allowed to hunt. Ain't happening.
There'll be plenty time later on for that, right? Oh
Yeah.
my.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, guys, we won't want to keep you. It has been great to have you on, Randy. It's been great to have you back. I have to say, I've enjoyed Nate so much at trials. We had a great time at seeing him at Wabash and also seeing him over at Mount Carmel and all. And so it's been a joy to watch all of it. Y'all done a great job. Let me just once again say congratulations. I know you're proud, but you should be very proud of the accomplishment with your dogs. So
Yeah, first place
We
open
appreciate
High
it.
Point and third place open High Point too with both of you guys.
Yep,
So that's
that's
quite an
right.
accomplishment.
Yep. Yes, it is. All right, guys. We will see you in about 5 weeks now because nationals are sneaking up on us quickly.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to that. Thanks again for joining us. It's been a great pleasure, and we'll talk soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Thanks for
guys.
having us, guys.
Appreciate
All right.
it.
So
Thanks,
thank
everybody.
y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. What a great visit.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was they're fun and they've done a really good job, Haley. I just and I do love and I love ragging on Randy all the time. You can tell I love that with Nate, but I do enjoy watching Nate run. And he just their dogs they're just so solid. And
They are. And man, have they put in the work. They have definitely traveled and they have fought for it. And they well deserved, guys. Well deserved.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, but next time you come that far south, you guys got to come on down here and we'll put together a pointing trial. Clint's been talking about it. I know he talked about it to you. In the beginning, he used to host pointing trials, and I took interest in it in women's, and I think that it would be fun to have it'd bring more people down if they can run pointing and flushing if they come down here. So we get some more fields set up. I think it would be something fun to do. Right, Clint?
I tell Clint I'm all for it. He needs to do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move. Haley, I want to take a second. We had a loss in our field trial family last week, and one that I think people probably know, but I want to be sure. I want to take just a moment here to remember Ron and Judy Wilson's daughter and Shay Wilson's sister, Shauna Wilson de Agostino, was tragically killed in a car accident last week. And so everybody, please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And they're a wonderful family and a wonderful part of our field trial family. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers.
Definitely said a prayer for them, and we'll definitely continue for the days to come. And just know that we're all thinking of you, and we all love you.
Absolutely. Okay, Haley, let's nationals we mentioned around the corner.
Around the corner, 6 weeks. Wow.
Weeks. We're on the countdown.
Oh, David said if you build it, they will come, Haley. So, all right, David, it's on. We're gonna get
all right.
We've got Clint and Dawn on board. You hear that, Pawpaw?
There you go. They can do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Quick, I know that this wasn't on the agenda, but Joey posted on our update. By the way, you guys, if you are on Facebook and you are a part of the UPTA crew, if you run nationals, make sure you join the new unofficial UPTA group. That gives you any updates for nationals, any updates. We post trial results there. We post upcoming trials, sometimes all sorts of different things. But Joey Preston, who is the host of Nationals this year at Kentucky, has just posted about 30 minutes ago that the Nationals apparel is available online. Due to COVID, things have been on a shortage. Literally, he's not kidding, because we host a veterans hunt and we get shirts made every year. It's never an issue picking. We always pick the color. We always pick the style. This year we had one choice of a color, and he had no other option. It was red, and that was it. And everyone was like, red? But it turned out great. But, we wanted a green because we like those shirts so much. We like to go turkey hunting in them. But so it's been an issue. And so Joey states that there has been shortages due to COVID, and to please order as soon as possible. And the store actually shuts down January 31st. So get your orders in if you want any Nationals apparel before then. He posted the website link on there. They have things from like Carhartt jackets to t-shirts to long sleeves to hoodies to beanies to hats, all kinds of things. So y'all go check that out.
Perfect. Wonderful. Oh, let me just throw in on that too. Don't forget to get your everybody to get your entries in. And I think, and the earlier you can get them in, the better, the easier it is for the board as they start to put all of that to Joey and all of them as they start to put it together. So let's go ahead and get those into them. I know the deadline is, and I don't have it in front of me, is January. Look, let's see if my paper's under. Anyway, I'll find that for you. So
to add to that, if you have not gotten your Nationals invitation letter, y'all, you should have been gotten that already. So
yes,
please call Miss Mary or Mr. Frank and let them know, hey, I didn't get my letter. If you had an address change, you forgot to update it on the website, let them know. And as we all know, y'all, the Postal Service has been crazy. They have been putting in work. It's not their fault that people have been at home and we've been mailing a lot more things. So be sweet, and things may have gotten lost in the mail. So just reach out. We can remail it. It's no big deal.
Okay. Good deal. All right. Haley, let's see what else. Oh, since we're on the countdown and everybody's getting ready.
Oh yeah.
What is something that everybody can help us with as we're getting prepared for nationals? As we go.
So what do you guys pack? What's essential items that we don't want to forget for nationals? What is something that it's a must have? I know for us, this is something that we do, and it's just Clint. If anyone knows Clint Bradshaw is very finicky, and you just have to learn to love it. So so Larry Reed says the entries are due by January 26th.
Thank you, Larry. I knew somebody take care of me. I just now got my paperwork. The producer over here got to it. So yes, be sure you get that in. Thanks, Larry.
All right.
Yes.
So something that we bring, we have a trailer that has a water tank at the bottom of it, so we fill that completely full before we leave. We have a dog box in the back of the truck that we fill that water compartment completely full with water, because we have a water filtration system here at home because we have well water. Our dogs are used to our home water. There's some places that we've went that they don't have any type of filter whatsoever, and that water will literally make the dog sick because they're not used to it, because ours is so filtered. And so we carry extra things of water with us just so they only drink the same water the whole entire time they're up there. Just like if you give a dog a different type of feed the next day, it's going to make their tummy upset. So that's just something we do. So tell us something that y'all do that maybe we might need to take into consideration, or that you don't want us to forget, or just whatever.
Yep, do that. Put them in the comments. We'll talk about them next week. We'll just because I think I always started a checklist of things I needed to take, and it's helpful. We can all help each other, so so I don't get there without my shells and I have to go borrow them from somebody or
some boots
or boot. Yeah. Well, I made the trip. I made the trip to Cedar Creek one time, and there was about 3 inches plus of snow on, and I left my boots, so I was.
Oh man.
So yeah, there you go.
If that happens in Kentucky, I'm gonna have to go. Clint's gonna have to take me shopping because.
There you go.
All right. Not snow pants.
All right. Let's move here. We're getting close on time. Upcoming trials. Haley, you want to do Flushing trials?
I sure do. So Lincoln Trail Quote Forever. They have pointing and Flushing. They're at E-Town. That's David Pike and Hardy Jaggers. That is January 15th through the 17th. And then the 16th and the 17th is Columbia Game Club. They have Flushing only. That's there in Sullivan, Ohio. And the point of contact for that is Tim Resnick.
Perfect. Haley mentioned Lincoln Trail for pointing as well. Bathsheba Kennels up in Sharon, South Carolina. Scott Boland is that contact. That's pointing. That is this weekend as well. So those are upcoming trials we have. My crew is all headed to Elizabethtown this weekend, so we'll have a report back from there next week on the show. Just a reminder, we're back again. We're on our regular Thursday 7:30 Central Time rotation. We do have an upcoming feature with judges. We've talked to some that will come on and talk to us about judging with it. And let me just say a special thank you to Nancy Smith for coming up with that idea for us. And let me see what else, Haley, we have on.
I want to give a quick shout out to my partner here. he was in the fight for a while for High Point, y'all, and pointing. Let me just tell you, at the end, it got tough. And against all odds, Kenny still got 5th place with Lexi, and that's still quite an accomplishment because I don't know if you've seen the pointing dogs, but that list is long, y'all. It's long. So 5th place up there is pretty high, and Lexi is queen bee at that household. So congrats to y'all.
Thank you. She is queen bee, that's for sure. Believe me. Very much so. One of the things too, Haley, we would love for people to, as Nancy Smith came up at Cedar Creek and said, you know, we'd love to hear about judges and their perspective and why they do it and all that, which I think was a wonderful idea. But help us too with some things that you would like to see us to talk about or on the show. So please put those in the comments, you know, or you can, you know, text or email or whatever, either one or both of us. But, you know, we want to be able to cover and talk to some people that, you know, you would find interesting, certainly with this. And so we're, I think between now and nationals, what we're going to try to do, we're going to try to get Kevin Pixley on next week because he was the amateur High Point winner. We do want to have Joey on just to kind of get us updated on all the pieces for nationals, and then get started at least on our judging series prior to nationals. And Haley, I know, is having discussions with a Flushing judge for us, and I have one of my favorite judges. I shouldn't say that, I might get in trouble, but she is one of my favorite judges that is already, she's already said she would love to come on and do that. And so we'll have her in the next coming weeks as well. So be good to me, Trish. Be good to me, Trish. Now, whenever you're judging me, don't get me for moving too fast through the field or anything. All right, Haley, any final things from you that we need this week? Great.
We just love to hear from y'all. Just let us know what you'd like to hear, what you'd like to hear more about. If you have a question, let us know. And don't be afraid to call us out in the middle of the show. Be like, hey, well, what about this? And well, we looked down previously. If we don't hear you, just comment again or write it in the comments and we'll get to it next week.
Yeah, we love the comments because if you're watching both of us, we're always checking. We're looking off to the side to see them. So, all right, everyone, have a great week. Have fun trialing this weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday on Field Trialing with
Haley and
Kenny. Bye, everyone.